There's misnomer out there that nonprofit work is it's boring and it's not challenging. There's not a minute that goes by that you are bored. It is constantly challenging. It is constantly changing.
Coming into a nonprofit, faith-based long-term care organization is in many ways a blank canvas.
I like to build, grow, scale. With leadership, I get to do that on steroids, right? I get to do that for an organization with 1,500 employees.
Typically, we're the best providers in our areas. Every patient, every resident, every employee has my personal cell phone number.
Just walking the halls in our facility. It's a very nurturing environment.
We are there. You're in the building where you're providing the service. You're not just in some office.
You choose to be in this industry because you know that feeling is really a good feeling and you know what you're doing is right.
I think the underlying challenge that we have here writ large as society is ageism. We have this fundamental, very firm, long-standing belief that's widely held that, old people are a burden, right? This society solely focused on youth, vigor, new things, right? We love new things. Technology, whatever it is, it has to be good because it's new. And so in our heads, older adults are kind of the opposite. And so I think most people end up with this fear.
Our society has segregated older adults in ways that are not helpful to new generations. You look at other societies where the old are revered. In our society, we isolate and stigmatize.
These are incredible people. We have authors, we have artists, teachers, surgeons. The first female engineering graduate of an Ivy League college was in our facilities. Incredibly rich lives, and they want to share it.
It can be very bittersweet. It's part of the life cycle that could be sad.
So many of our seniors don't have family, they don't have support. For us to be able to be that support for some in the last days of their lives has just always made such an impact on me.
You try to look at them like they're your own family member, and they would want to have somebody take care of them and somebody speak their language. So if I know somebody speaks Spanish, I immediately speak Spanish to them and I make them feel more comfortable.
People would ask me, Dan, is it difficult to work with people knowing that they're going to die? And the interesting thing is that death is not the number one fear of our residents. What comes way before that are loss of independence, loss of loved ones. They don't get to death until number 5 or 6 or 7 on the list.
They have a healthier, I think, overall general perspective on life because they've been there and done that. And so they bring this really unique and compelling perspective, which is valuable. You come home and you have so much to think about. There's a lot of myths about older people, and in fact, the opposite is really true.
They're counting on you, and they have to be there. There's so many people who said, during, the worst of the coronavirus, oh my gosh, that you work in senior care organization and nursing, oh, that's so awful, that's so terrible. I would always correct them and say, it's tough. But I knew that every day I was going to be able to make a difference in someone's life, and there was no other place I would rather be.
We're facing so many social problems in our country and around the world. We actually get to directly influence those outcomes. How we treat our staff, how we promote women and people of color in our organizations allows us to really, as they say, walk the walk.
I have been more challenged working in a nonprofit senior care organization than I ever was working for these large academic medical centers. It's meaningful on a personal level. It touches your soul, but it also challenges your mind.
I'm not sure I'd be thrilled to be leading an organization that was a stable operating entity. But the opportunity to really transform an organization, to whiteboard and go back all the way to what's our mission? Why are we here? What do we want to be when we grow up? Which is a weird thing to say when you're a 174-year-old, mission-driven, community-benefiting organization. But that's what you need to do. I can't imagine anything more exciting than the opportunity to help make that happen.
We're constantly planning for these future generations that are coming down the pike? What do I want for my own aging experience? And being in this field, you have an opportunity to shape that. There's a lot of room for innovation. Some of it is because we're forced to, because we have to be more creative with fewer resources, if you will. And some of it is because there are just some really talented leaders in this field.
Somebody who brings creativity to it has an enormous opportunity to do things that are going to be welcomed. Renovating spaces, building a new building. I enjoy teaching, and I have the opportunity really on a daily basis to teach our staff, to learn from our staff. It never gets old, never gets tired.
It's fulfilling work. It's the kind of work that makes a difference in someone's life, and that could be your own loved one. Wouldn't you want to have the best for them? So use your skills for that.
There's so much more that we're going to be accomplishing in the next quarter century, or even maybe the next 10 years. These new grads coming out, they're going to lead us.
Young people today are indoctrinated into making money. Making money is overrated if that's the only thing that's motivating a person. It's not to malign anyone who wants to be financially successful, but beyond the point of having a decent income and providing for a family and living a decent life, which one can easily do in our field, to be embraced by the people you serve, to be very actively engaged in the community in which you live, is one of the most rewarding things that you can ask for.
I don't believe I've sacrificed. I feel that I've gotten so much more to represent an organization that is mission-driven, as opposed to just a company.
Well, our industry is small, but you find that you meet such beautiful people that share the same values. You know, I am such a cheerleader for this industry, for what we do, how hard that our staff work. If you really want to make an impact, this is the industry.
At the end of the day, every decision we make is motivated by one thing: the people that we're there to care for. It's almost freeing in a way to understand that that is what is expected of everyone, that you're there to do the best for the people who are entrusting us with their care. That's the only reason why we're there, is to make their life better in some way. If that is who you are as an individual, that is the environment that you want to be in, and that's the environment that you will thrive in.